Hello everybody, my name is Liv. This will be my second video on this channel. As you can see by the title, today's video is going to necessarily be about why our accomplishments never feel like they're enough. Why we continue to strive and thrive for more and more whenever we have necessarily completed a lot of things that we've wished and prayed for like 5, 3, and 1 year ago. I've seen this definitely play out in my personal life on an everyday scale of comparing my position of where I am to the other people around me, and that could create an inferior complex and just have you looking at yourself in a state of lack, no matter what you accomplish or no matter who sees you as successful, no matter who deems you as put together or I guess established, you will still not feel that way in yourself. I definitely feel there's 2 reasonings that this has played out in my life up until this point. And I feel like one of those reasonings, like I just mentioned, is the comparison and then coming back to that lack mindset. Looking at what other people have rather than looking at what I have now compared to what I had before. It's very easy to get caught up, especially on social media, with what other people have that we don't, or I guess it can be easy to perceive other people doing better than us or having an easier life than us, but the truth is we only see what they present to us. And in my last video, like I said, everybody has their own issues that they go through. Everybody has their own trials and tribulations, but not everybody puts that and wears that on their sleeve or on just their face. So I feel like it's very unfair and it's kind of selfish to look at somebody and assume that their life is perfect and wish that you had their life instead of your own. I feel like that's really looking at someone else's life and wishing that you had their life. It's very discrediting to you as a human being and what you've been put here to do. I know, like, in the grand scheme of things, like whenever people feel suicidal or people feel lost or people really kind of express they don't really have a sense of purpose or a sense of hope or understanding in this world, in that way, it's kind of like people will always say, oh, you matter, you're here for a reason, you have a purpose, everybody is here for a reason, everybody has a purpose. And I feel like over time of me hearing that, especially, it kind of felt cliche, especially whenever I hello honey. Everyone say hi to Honey, my cat. She just wants to say hello to you guys. But I feel like, what was I saying? I forgot. I really can't remember what I was talking about. Okay, sorry about that. My cat got me sidetracked and confused. Sorry about that. Anyways, like I was saying, it kind of began feeling cliche hearing that whenever I definitely didn't feel it in myself. Kind of like whenever your mom calls you beautiful, you're like, are you saying this because it's true, or are you saying this because you're obligated because you're my mom? I don't know. Like, you can't really understand what that means until you actually start grasping and feeling that within yourself. And the biggest thing that has truly helped me is reflection, self-reflection. Getting the outside noise out of my head. If you need to, force yourself to take breaks from social media, because even if you think it's not affecting your brain, it's definitely affecting your neck and subconsciously, somewhere in there, you're taking that information in, and there needs to be a limit sometimes. And I'm not here to be your mom and tell you what to do, but I'm here to just try to help you through things that I've worked myself through. Reflection number 1. Reflect within the last 10 to 5 years of your life. Reflect on the things that you used to want and desire and pray for that you now have, that you kind of overlook in your daily life. Go back to a state of gratitude to pull yourself out of that state of lack, so you can be more present and you can enjoy the smaller things in daily life. Once you put your eyes and your vision and you kind of tunnel your vision back to yourself, there's nothing that really can uproot you out of that, because you truly have such a like locked set view on what you want to do, what you have done, and that right there builds your confidence up. And I feel like with me, the biggest thing that I've dealt with is being so hard on myself. Obviously, us as human beings, we need to have a point where we're like, okay, enough is enough. But as human beings also, there needs to be a balance of, okay, I've done this far. I don't need to do this anymore, but I'm aware of it and I can make the changes in the small steps moving forward to take charge, to take control, and to get this fixed and to get this healed. It's not necessarily an easy mindset to transform yourself into, especially after being in survival mode. Growing up feeling like any mistake that you make, you're going to be punished for it, or you're humiliated to admit that you made a mistake or that you failed. But another thing that I've realized along that is failure is not being good at something. Failure is not falling down. Failure is not being laughed at. Failure is not passing a test. Failure is giving up. Failure is just quitting. It's allowing that inner turmoil to take over you. That, in my eyes, is what failing is. And that's not to say we don't have down periods. That's not to say we're not going to have months or a year or 3 weeks where we feel like complete shit and we don't want to move. But whenever that is over, we have to have a middle ground where we can pick ourselves back up. And we can be like, okay, I gave you your time, but now we need to essentially lock in. We need to take it one step at a time, lightly, and we'll get ourselves there. And I feel like something that it's very overwhelming, and it can be very, very paralyzing if you do feel like you are behind. Because, like, especially in your early 20s, a lot of people they have their license, they have a car. Some people are getting engaged, some people are getting married, some people are having kids, some people are buying houses, some people are traveling, some people are going to school, some people are still living with their parents. It's not a fixed way of life, and there's not one specific fixed way of life. And if we continue trying to appease and fill that facade and that pretend world that's not there, of course we're not going to be fulfilled. Of course we're going to be drained. Of course we're going to fall out of love with our creative outlets. Of course we're going to fall out of love with our hobbies. We're just going to be in a mode of competition, of racing, of how do I get this? How do I do this better than this person? How do I do this better than that person? And I feel like that's really where we lose sight of what matters. And what matters is our own fulfillment. What matters is what makes us happy. What matters is what feels accomplishing to us outside of what our parents told us, outside of what society has told us. And it's definitely hard to maneuver and differentiate what is your wants and what's other people's. But I feel like it just takes a lot of self-reflection of you having to sit yourself down alone and just be like, and just come up with a plan. Just review, reflect on your life. Whenever people talk about like passing away or like the flashes of their life they get on their quote-unquote deathbed or whatever, why do we have to wait to that point to like actually engage and really look at our lives? I feel like we should be reflecting on our lives at any and all stages, not just whenever we hit a milestone. I mean, we should be reflecting on our lives and celebrating ourselves on a random Tuesday, on a random Monday. Like, we shouldn't wait to celebrate ourselves. We shouldn't wait to wear that fun outfit. We shouldn't wait to see our friends. We should just live. We should just celebrate. We should just do. And I feel like when there's so much expectation upon ourselves that's not even our own expectation, it kind of makes you lose the purpose of why you're here, because you're living for other people. You're not living for you, you're living for everybody else's approval. And it doesn't matter what you do, not everybody is going to be pleased. So it's going to just feel like you're running in a circle of nothing. A circle like a snake just biting its own tail. And it's something that you need self-reflection. Instead of asking how you can get where someone else is, instead of asking how you can get what they have, instead of asking how you can be like them, instead of comparing yourself to them, compare yourself to yesterday. Ask yourself how you can be 1% better than yesterday. Ask yourself what that looks like to you only, because it's going to look different for everybody. Some people already have established routines. Some people already have their fitness lifestyles established. Some people already have those things. But what do you need? What do you have? It's going to look different for everybody. What is something that you want to work towards? What is something that you feel you lack within? What are your next steps to getting to where you need to be, not to where someone else is? Because that's where we're unhappy. We get unhappy because we're continuously and constantly striving for the validation and the approval of someone else's idea of what success is. Like rappers, for example, whenever people listen to rap, it makes them want to have a lot of women that they can pursue. It makes them want to have more money than the next person. It makes them want to have more expensive jewelry and better clothes and this and that. But truly, what is going to be fulfilling and captivating is not that. It's not being able to top someone else. It's not being able to get what someone else has. It's not going to be having that person's lifestyle. It's going to be improving and fixing and fulfilling your own. And it's going to look different for everybody. That's why we need to first start with building a strong foundation for ourselves to come into whenever the outside world is infiltrating and polluting what your goals are. Because there are a lot of distractions in this world. Well, not everything is a distraction, but a lot of things are. Definitely just work on your own discernment. Focus on yourself and focus on being 1% better than yesterday. That's how you're going to get to where you want to be. That's how you're going to eventually feel the most fulfilled and happy. You might not feel good in the beginning about it. You might feel like it's selfish. You might feel like you really don't even want it, because whenever we're kids and we have goals that seem unrealistic, or we have things that we really enjoy that don't make sense to anybody, they kind of shove it away and push it down and demonize, and they just don't want to hear it. They don't have anything to do with it, so they don't want you to hear it or have anything to do with it. But I'm not gonna lie, once you're an adult, we can start utilizing our free will back to our full advantage. And it's very easy to get caught up in the loop and the trap and the cycle, but there is a way out of it, and the way out is within. The way out is quite literally within. The answers are within. All the answers that you're looking for, they're sitting inside of you, waiting for you to hear them, waiting for you to open your mind to them. And it's just something that takes time. It's not going to be a one-stop shop. It's not going to be a one quick fix. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way of Miley Cyrus's song. Like, it's not about getting to the destination. It's about the climb. That song has rang truer to me today than any time that I've ever listened to it, because I feel like we always hold external validation as our pinpoints of what makes us valuable. Like, oh, I'll be happy once I get this car. I'll be happy once I get this house. I'll be happy once I get this relationship. I'll be happy once I have these friends. I'll be happy once I get to go to this place. I'll be happy once I have this much money. And then time and time again, those people, they're continuously chasing, and they're continuously wondering, like, why do I have to keep chasing that? And it's because we're looking in the wrong places for our fulfillment. That's it. That's as simple as I can put it. And I really hope that you took some valuable information from this video. If you would like me to speak upon any other topics, please put them down in the comments below, because I do want to be consistent and persistent with this. I don't want to have to put myself up here and pretend to be perfect or sound robotic. I want to just put myself out here authentically and invite the people who really need to hear it. And because, I mean, growing up, I didn't have a big sister, and I kind of just want to be that, a big sister on the internet for people who need it, or I don't know. But thank you guys for watching, and if you made it until the end of this video, I really appreciate it. I hope that it wasn't too all over the place. I'm still learning about editing and all of that, but thank you very much.